Hello guys, this is Sean here doing another episode of Blaze's Flashbacks, episode 7. This is the end of high school, well, second half, so that's what we're covering today. So last time I stopped in June 2017, I did forget something. At the end of May, we got a new dog, Matilda, so almost forgot that last time, but yeah. Luckily it was like right towards the end, so I mean, it's easy to just add in here, but anyway. So I started my summer off in June. It was nice. Had garage sales pretty quickly, and I remember going with a few people garage sale. I didn't get anything. It was just a fun time. You know, stayed up all night for it as per usual when it comes to morning things. So yeah, I had a pretty good time with that. That was fun. Aside from that, I remember just summer of 17 was fun because this is when like the Switch was brand new. I remember like Arms came out, Splatoon 2. I remember going somewhere because like Arms was like an Arms tournament we had at someone's house. I actually did not play Arms that day though because at like 9 a.m. I got out of bed, but before even going to sleep because I realized that amiibo were rare again. So I went on a hunt and didn't get home till 5 p.m. And I slept for like an hour. Then I had to go there, and I was like, "Oh, I'm very tired." And yeah, I was not doing too well that day, so I didn't play the game. But it was still fun to be there. But yeah, I remember that amiibo hunt. It was a time. I got Cloud, Corn, and Bayonetta, and I did get a Player 2 Bayonetta, which was one of the rare ones, so I got lucky, but yeah. Luckily, I did get orders for Cloud and Corn Player 2. They went up eventually, so that was good. Was able to get those, which was fun. And moving on from that, not a whole lot I could really talk about for summer of 17, I feel. It was just kind of a good summer, had a good time. July, August, just a fun time. Then I started my junior year of high school in August, and this one, man, I argued this year, because I've thought about this before. I really wanted to do online school, and I tried so hard this year, and about a month in, I finally got my parents to talk to someone, about, like a representative from the college I was going to about that, and, like, if they took people from online high schools, and they're like, I think so, we have to check on it, we'll get back to you. They never got back to us, so I was just in limbo and ended up staying the whole year. But as far as my classes go for my junior year, there were some differences in semesters, so we'll go through the first semester right now, we'll get to the second one later, and how that changed, but, first period, I had physics. This is actually a pretty decent class, by far the best science class I had in high school, so it was fine. Second period, current events. This is the best class I took in high school because the teacher was like, alright, not gonna really follow any curriculum. We'll just come up with topics that you guys want to talk about, and we'll go through them. And it had to be like, relatively topical to current events, but you know what I mean. It was just a really, really cool way to run the class, I thought. There was one issue, but it wasn't an issue. We'll get to that in a little bit. This is a funny one, but yeah, current events, though, actually a good class. This is one that I can say I actually did like. But after that, yeah, third period was U.S. history. It's U.S. history, nothing really to say about that. Fourth period, first half was lunch, which was nice to have an early lunch, because I didn't eat breakfast. And then second half was a study hall, sure. Fifth period, I had American literature. I hated this class. In my last episode, I talked about world literature and how I didn't like the teacher. Same teacher, so didn't like this one very much. It's kind of ran the same, not a fan of it. It wasn't as bad as world literature, but it wasn't good either. Sixth period, algebra 2. This was a weird class, because there just weren't a lot of people in this class. It was kind of a vibe, honestly. Didn't mind, algebra 2 as a class, and just, yeah, people there. Just a small class. Pretty chill. And then, seventh period, I had gym. Probably my favorite gym of high school, because, I don't know, just, it was mainly people from my grade, which is always nice, and it was a pretty big class, just a lot of people there, a lot of stuff to do. The sophomore one was cool, because it was, your own stuff. It was just kind of weird at the same time to, run it like that, and then freshman year was just kind of fine, but, we'll get to the senior year ones. I, have some thoughts on those, but, I remember liking this gym class. And then eighth period was great. It was business. I'm gonna be honest, we did not do anything in business. This was a complete blow-off class, and great class to end the day on. Honestly, I got pretty lucky with my final classes. for the most part. Because yeah, freshman year was Spanish 1, which we had Duolingo as a teacher, for most of the first semester, and then the second semester we got a teacher, but he was like really chill. That was cool, but yeah, and then oh yeah, Spanish. I don't think I mentioned this last time. I remember for Spanish 2, I think I said something about 3/4 about being like bad, but yeah, the last quarter we got this guy who didn't speak Spanish and just was like there, and didn't care what we did, which was nice. But yeah, anyway, um, but yeah, Spanish 1 being 8th period was pretty good. Sophomore, I mean that gym class, because you didn't really do anything. I mean, gym it's a fine 8th period class, and yeah, blow up class in junior year that was great. So I had a pretty solid schedule, all things considered. I think I still liked freshman year the most, but I think in terms of like a scheduling, junior year was probably the best, and yeah, it was decent. As far as the actual year goes, September had a birthday, I guess, turned 17. That was interesting. October, November, not really a whole lot to say about these months, honestly. Just doing stuff, I guess. Yeah, not a whole lot to say about these that I can think of. And then December, Christmas time. I actually had a great winter break this year. With one exception, this is the time that my SD card decided to just corrupt itself. I recorded my Christmas, haul video. It did all of my unboxings, and later on to go upload them, and I'm like, oh, they all corrupted. Every single unboxing I did. The hours I spent doing them, gone. Amazing. It worked like the day before too. Of course, like the one time it didn't, it decides to just die. It's like, oh great, it's the time where I did like everything ever. Fun. That actually demotivated me a lot because I remember I didn't upload at all in November and most of December. Finally was ready to come back. I was really excited about it, and then like that happened. It just demotivated me again, honestly. So yeah. Also at Christmas I did get the Code Geass limited edition, which was really cool because they kind of kicked off my anime box set sort of collecting, and I don't get them as much now. Honestly, 18 is like the only year I get them consistently, but I mean that's fine. I still get them when I can. I actually just opened one up a few days ago, which is cool. So I still get them. But yeah, I liked this time period a lot because of that. And yeah, January 2018. This is when the classes like switched around and stuff, and I believe it was just second period that changed for me. Yeah. So instead of current events, I had economics, which was a downgrade. Economics, it was fine, I guess, but yeah, I remember like partway through the semester, my teacher left because his wife had a kid, and he was gone for like a month or so, and he came back. The sub was fine, but yeah, it was a all right class, but current events is great. But the thing is, the funny story about current events is that the teacher was like, all right, you guys are going to have to pick out your own topic, because there's 10 of us in this class. So you get to pick your own topic, and those last couple of weeks we're going to have presentations on your topic. You're going to like teach the class for an entire period, right? That's your winter break assignment. I'm like, a winter break assignment? No. So I realized something. I'm like, wait a minute. There's 10 people in this class. And that last day of the quarter is a half day, so there's only space for 9 actual presentations. Something is not adding up here. So I thought about this, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to do this. I'm going to not do it because I don't think it can be done. I don't think this is something like an assignment that is realistic with the time given. And by some miracle as well, the first day back from winter break, we didn't go back because we had a snow day. So another day off. And so we got back on the Tuesday after, and the guy's like, yeah, so looking at the schedule with the snow day, this isn't going to work. So I'll cancel it, but hey, if you did it, I will grade the assignment for you, and you get credit, So if you actually did the assignment, I think it said if you just did it at all, you'll get extra credit, like a lot of extra credit. So those people who actually did it, they didn't get screwed over because they were able to do their thing. But if you didn't do it, you're basically just exempt from it. So I made the big brain play of not doing it. I got an A in the class anyway, so I didn't need the extra credit. So I made the big brain play of not doing it, and got away with it. because, yeah, it got canceled because I realized there wasn't enough time, and we also got lucky with the winter break getting extended by a day because of a snow day. So thought that one through. So good job, past self. You got out of a really obnoxious assignment. So me from 7 years ago, you were cooking. Anyway, after that though, I don't think I really say a whole lot else about like February or March. I think for March, the only thing I can say though is that Smash Ultimate got announced, which was like crazy. I remember being up here. I'll say I was gonna take a nap, and I remember like watching the direct before I took my nap, and I'm like, oh, this happened. That's crazy. I was really excited about it. I don't think I took a nap because I was too excited about Ultimate getting announced, but yeah, that was exciting. Also in March, I know Beyblade Burst shows that started, but like I didn't really care as much. It was like, oh, cool, and then I got them like, oh, nah, I don't know about that, but yeah, it was a time, but I also in February I remember I did Blaze reviews a lot more. I was in a Discord call with someone, and they're like, hey, do you still like do YouTube stuff? I'm like, yeah, and like you should like review a lot more. I'm like, all right, so I did, and why not? It was a fun one-off video, honestly. After that, April, I remember April of 18. I had spring break. That was a good spring break actually. The nice thing is because we had this issue, especially later in the school years, where they'd always make Easter like the last day of spring break. I'm like, why? This year it was like the one of the first days. It was great, so I like that. Had a good spring break as well. So honestly, good time. May, I was just finishing up school. Not real whole lot to say about that one. Nothing else is really happening at this point. June, I got out of school, was hyped about it. This was the whole revival plan, because I had this thing where, like, I felt like I wasn't uploading a lot on YouTube, so I had a whole revival plan. It went alright. I didn't do everything I wanted to do. I know, like, I had a ton of Chow stuff on that just did not happen. And it's also the last time I even did anything Chow related, so, kind of unfortunate, but at the same time, what was I really going to do anyway? So yeah, you got some Bale stuff, got some anime stuff, good times. Oh, I tried to do the whole thing where I was like, oh, I'm going to do like a Blaze Rages every other week, and then like also Chef Blaze every other week. That died out pretty quick. That did not go well. I tried for the Blaze Rages for a while. Those were like some of the worst ones I ever did though. Along with 17 ones. 17 ones weren't good either. The 18 ones were also pretty bad for the most part, but both of those Chef Blazes, episode 13 was like fine. Episode 14 is probably my least favorite one ever. Not a fan of that one at all. But yeah, I tried. Also, I tried like the whole Chef Blaze reviews thing, and yeah, that lasted 5 episodes and wasn't great. But the one big thing, the Bakutech reviews, those were good. I think those, well, okay, the reviews themselves are maybe a bit suspect now, but I went every Monday. I think I was late one time by a day, so I did pretty well with that. Also, this is when Weekly Blazes came back, which is great because they were dead for like a year and a half. Although I did put up some of the lost ones, like there were 5 that I tried to make during that big gap and didn't finish, but I put them up, so they're there now. Yeah. But yeah, it was an interesting idea. 18 Summer is just kind of a vibe, honestly. I feel like this is like peak like vaporwave type of era. I don't know why that just comes to mind for me. Probably because Octo expansion from Splatoon 2, which was great. Had a great time playing that, and I don't know, it just felt so chill. I really like 18 Summer a lot. Had a lot of good times this summer, and then after that, again, don't have a lot to say about like January. Not January, July or August, honestly, aside from that stuff. Kind of just keeps moving into August. Time to start school, and yeah, it was a time. I remember. So for this one, I actually wasn't. I was like, can I do online school? They're like, probably not. And I'm like, all right, it's my last year of high school. I guess I'll just go at this point. I tried, 8th grade, didn't go well. I mentioned it freshman year, but it didn't go too far because, my first year of high school, I was interested, but tried sophomore and failed, went all in junior year and failed, senior year, alright, it's one more year, I guess I'll just deal with it. A whole online school thing, this will come up later, next episode though, but it will come back up eventually, but yeah, it was a time, and then, Started school in 18. I remember there was this one time in August. It was like a super weird event that happened, but I was leaving my house and to go to school. I was in my car obviously, and everything's all good, right? We're all good, and I'm like driving. I realize that my rear view mirror on my right side of the car, passenger side, it's just not there. Like the physical thing itself is there. It's like the mirror itself, the insert isn't there. Like the physical, like part sticking out of the car, that's there. It's just the mirror itself. It's just like a blank, like black nothing. I'm like, oh. So apparently, like something like the adhesive or whatever, just like dry rotted, I guess. And yeah, that just because I didn't hit anything. Obviously, I would know if I hit something. Just fell off. Don't know what to say about it. All right, now. Sorry about the random cut, but I was talking about the mirror. So yeah, that just fell off, I guess. Yeah, sure. Not the only car thing that happened this year. We'll talk about that in a bit. But anyway, September 2018. I forgot something from July. Damn it. So in July, I remember I had to get like senior pictures taken, and it was in my junior high. It was so weird because I was like, oh, I have to go back to my junior high, and it felt like completely normal just to be in there, even though it had been like 3 years after I graduated. So I'm like, oh, this is weird. I had an old Weekly Blaze from July of 18 called Rewind. That one talks more about it. I just thought it was weird, and I went on this whole like rant about like enjoy your childhood, and I stand by that. Actually, this is like one of the rare times when I was like 17 talking about this. I'm like, kind of had a point though, honestly. But yeah, anyway, September of 18. I turned 18. That's like the big thing from this one. That was crazy. So that happened. Then October of 18. This was interesting. So I remember I got a cold, which is random, but I got a cold, and this cold it lasted like 2 months. Like I don't know what happened, but it was bad. It like messed up my like sense of smell as well. Like I couldn't smell properly for like 2 3 months afterwards. This is before COVID and stuff as well, so like I don't know what the hell happened, but it messed me up. Also during that there was I think it was like the first day of November with the other car thing. So this one, oh god, this one, not a good story, but it was a Friday, leaving school, ready for the weekend, and this car next to me, they were parked super close and like really sticking out. So like it was hard. It was like a really tight, squeeze to get out of that spot, but I did. Went all the way back. Like I obviously wasn't gonna hit the cars behind me. I was like, close as I could get without being in danger of that, and pulled out to the left. And as I was kind of pulling past the car, moved my steering wheel as far as I could go. Kind of like felt the steering wheel hit that part, like the side, like where it stops. As I kind of went past this car, but it just felt like a little too much of like a jolt from when I moved the steering wheel, and I'm like, surely I didn't hit anything when I did that, right? Nah, there's no way. No one around me is like looking at me crazy. I'm like, I would have felt something if I hit something. There's no way. So I leave, go to the gas station, and when I come back from the gas station, I see like a pretty decent like mark on my car. I'm like, oh no, that wasn't my imagination. So I'm not trying to like do anything wrong. So like, I immediately get back in my car, go back to school like as quick as I can, because I'm like, yeah, I'm not trying to like have like a hit and run here. So go right back as quick as I can to like go into the school. Like the car that was gone too. So I'm like, damn, all right, it's gonna like go like see if they were there. But so I went to the school, and I told like the principal like, yeah, this just happened, and I didn't know. And so I'm like, all right. He's like, all right, yeah, we could do like insurance stuff or whatever, like on Monday, and we'll deal with it then. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, well, damn, this is not good. And so after looking at it further, though, we realized that something was off. It didn't seem like I just hit something. It was like a perfect scrape, very like thin, not like thin. It made a pretty decent mark on the car, but But the way it was, it just seems like this couldn't have been like a bumper. It was way too just thin of a mark. It seemed like something. I eventually realized, okay, it was probably a tow hitch. And I'm like, that would make sense. So I'm like, I know I cleared that car. I would not have turned and kept going if I thought I was going to be in danger of hitting something, you know? Like, I'm not that stupid. And, like, we didn't see any marks. I did go out there with the principal on Monday to like, look around, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is the car. I'm like, we didn't see any marks. I'm like, there's a giant tow hitch on this car. I'm like, okay. Well, first, that's actually illegal, by the way, but I'm like, okay, I'm not going to, like, do anything with that, you know? But, yeah, so it seemed like someone had an illegal sized tow hitch that was not marked, because they have to be marked if they're that big. It wasn't marked, and that's what did that to my car. Had to get that fixed. It was not fun, but it had to be done. And then after that, so it was a weird thing towards like I kind of screwed up, but at the same time, was it entirely my fault? I mean, should I have probably been a little bit more careful? Yeah, definitely. But should the tow hitch have been there? No. Like that was not entirely on me. Partially for sure, but not entirely. Anyway, moving into December, Smash Ultimate came out. That was great. Had a good time with that. Had like a launch party of sorts at someone else's house, which was a good time. And had like a back and forth tournament with me and one other person. We were like in the finals and stuff. It was a good time. So yeah. Also, this is when the Smash Ultimate Amiibo came out. The day after, I went to Best Buy. Got Ridley. Did not get to open that Ridley until this year because I waited for every Ultimate Amiibo to come out to open them. Don't know why I did that, but I did. Moving into Christmas of 18, good Christmas, definitely a good time. Caught up on a lot of the Chosette's releases, so I mean, that's fun. And then, yeah, so, oh, I didn't talk about my school schedule, and why do I keep, like, missing stuff randomly? I'm like, I get into, like, a story, and I'm like, okay, this story, oh, wait, no, this story, yeah, anyway. Well, first of all, I did have a good winter break in 18, you know, I remember, like, starting 2019, I was like, oh, this is crazy. Because it was like 10-year anniversary of like 2009, and that's when I like started YouTube and stuff. So I rewatched Shugo Chart at the start of the year. It was like the first real anime I watched, and then also I was like looking at a lot of Chow stuff. But yeah, anyway, so we're into my school schedule for the first semester. Then we'll get into the second semester since we already got to January. So first semester, first period, environmental science. This one I hated this. So class itself was just like a nothing class, but like we had to recycle every Friday. I hated recycling so much because it was like, oh, we have to. Because I always hated it as a kid because I always like got into recycling somehow, and then I don't hate recycling as a concept. I just hated having to do it at the school, and you have to go through the different classes, take out the bins. Someone had to carry like the big garbage bin, and other people would go into the classrooms, get the smaller garbage bins, put them in the big one. And we'd all take it out, and two people had to lift it up and put it in the big recycling thing outside, so hated that. Second period, I had yearbook, which was a nothing class. I don't think I did a single assignment in this class, I'm not gonna lie. Because nothing was assigned. I didn't just not do them, nothing was assigned, yeah. Third period, what did I have there? Oh yeah, gym. This gym, I'm gonna agree with myself from Blaze Ridge at School 10. This was a concentration camp. This was run, like, ridiculous, because it was alright. Normal days were like, fine enough, but it's like, okay, fitness days. You're gonna have a horrible time. It's not even just like a normal like workout. It was like overly intense for no reason. It's like, why? There was no purpose to this. Fourth period, first half was study hall, second half was lunch. That was fine. Fifth period, I had stats, which was stats was fine. It was an okay class. You know, sixth I had consumer math. This class was like easy. Like, what happened a lot of the times in this class was, we'd get the notes, the teacher would pass them out, and then she'd, you know, like, get the projector and stuff on, take like a couple minutes, and by the time she had that all on, I already finished the notes, I just knew it, and I was like, alright, time to predict what the questions will be for the homework, and just start them. I'll do, like, all the past ones, and then just cross off whichever ones were not chosen later. So I did the homework while she taught the notes, and by the time the homework was given out, I was already done with everything. Seventh period was production. I didn't really do anything in production, honestly, because I was like, oh, I like YouTube stuff. I'll love this class. So I'm like, wait a minute. It's like either being physically on camera or editing. If you know me, you know I don't edit very much at all, and I also don't like appearing on camera personally. So yeah, I didn't do anything here. And then 8th period was British literature. This class, like, I didn't like it very much, and it killed my streak of having good 8th period classes. It was honestly really disappointing to have my like final year of high school with like a pretty subpar last class of the day. That kind of sucked. Second semester, we swept up the concentration camp. I can't talk at all. My God, worse than usual by a lot right there. Get rid of that gym and got to modern American history, which is it was actually a decent class. It -1. It was like a history class, but even more chill. So really chill. And then 7th period, we swapped out production for gym. This gym, it was like the one I had last year, except most people were like a year younger than me. So I was like, oh, this is interesting. It was fine, better than the other one, but yeah, it was just kind of there. After that, February, I didn't really do a whole lot here. I did start to kind of like dread the school ending. 'Cause I'm like, wait, I don't want to like, cause I have to like do college stuff and like then life stuff. I'm just not looking forward to all that. And then I remember in March specifically, someone was like, "Hey, do you want to like go to like this place with us?" I'm like, I can." I'm like, damn. Because the reason I said no is I'm like, yeah, I kind of don't want to start to like actually make friends here like within a couple months because I'm gonna leave and it's gonna kind of suck. So I just said no. And I'm like, all right, well, damn. Probably should have said yes in hindsight, but it is what it is. Anyway. Also in March, Beyblade Burst GT started. That was interesting time. I mean, nowadays I'm not as big into GT, especially those first releases. But back then I was like, oh, GT is like the best thing ever. Like customizable layers, you know. April of 19, pretty cool. I mean, spring break, that was nice. It was a really late spring break as well, so yeah, pretty cool. Then in May, oh yeah, prom was in May. I didn't go to prom. I didn't go to any high school dances. I just said no to those and didn't do them. And then I watched through the Monogatari series, which is one of my favorite anime of all time. I recently rewatched that earlier this year, and yeah, I mean, this was a great time. This is like the last thing I really watched, like the last new anime I watched in high school, so good one to end on, honestly. So, and I was about done with high school. Went to school Friday, like a normal day of school, and I left and never went back. Well, okay, I did go back twice, but I never did like any classes again. That was it. Now, there was suddenly a week I was supposed to do after that, but that Monday was like a review day for exams, and I had one day left I could miss, and I missed that day on purpose because that was the last mandatory day, because Tuesday was exam day. However, if you had, I believe it was at least a B in a class, you could exempt the exam and just not take it. You only took the exams if you had a C or lower. I tried this the entire year, so I was able to exempt out of the exam, which is great. Could just leave. Well, not leave. I could just not go. There were actually exemptions in second quarter. Oh yeah, for some reason they did this thing where it's like, oh, second quarter and fourth quarter you could exempt out of things you can't for first and third, and then you can also like go home for lunch if you're a senior during the exam days. But like, then you got to come back, so it kind of sucked. But it's kind of cool, like going for lunch, I guess. But yeah, I remember. I think second quarter you were only able to exempt out of like 4 exams. But you had to have like you couldn't have too many absent days. And that's why I had to like really hold on to that last one for fourth quarter, because I'm like, okay, I can't do that, because you were able to exempt out of everything, and yeah, I did. So I missed every exam because I had A's in every class. So I was like, all right, cool. So didn't have to go that day. Then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was like back to back to back, like fun days. You had a senior trip and like a senior picnic, or like a football day, I guess. You didn't have to go to those if you didn't want to, if you were a senior, but you could. I didn't go to any of them. A week after, you're supposed to do, graduation practice, which I did. That was a time. It it was very disorganized. I don't know what happened. Like, the 8th grade one was run so much better, but, no one knew what they were doing, so we kind of showed up on Sunday for graduation, and, it went fine, but I feel like the 8th grade one felt so much more official than the senior one, which was funny. But, yeah. Went to that, and I have not been back to that school since, so there you go. So I graduated high school. That was kind of crazy. I remember, doing YouTube stuff around this time as well. That was fun. Blaze Harriet School 10 came up my last day of high school ever. That was cool. Tried to bring back the weekly box deck reviews. Did not go too well, but I tried. And yeah, after that, June, pretty good month actually. All things considered, had a lot of good times here. Got a girlfriend that was great. Which is still going to this day, so that's good. But I'm not gonna get any of that stuff. That was just like an offhanded mention. I don't want to again. I'm not trying to get overly personal here. Just kind of like a talking about my life type of thing. So yeah. Anyway, after that, I remember playing Minecraft a lot around this time. I had like a survival world, like a really cool looking house. That was cool. Although I feel like this got derailed a bit because like late in June, I remember hearing about like Etika going missing. I talked about Etika last time a little bit because like he was one of my favorite content creators like ever. And I was like really hoping the whole time, like, please, 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 just, be all right. And, well, fortunately he did pass, which was really unfortunate. Again, rest in peace. He was very entertaining. I still believe 100% to this day he would be like the biggest streamer had he still been around. So, really unfortunate. And then after that, June, continued and... Get into July, had the 4th of July time. That was nice. Made things a little bit crazier, which is always fun. And then 4th of July, kind of the last big 4th of July I had, because I always had people like party, like not like parties, but like always had people around here, And it was the last year that happened, so kind of unfortunate that ended. But yeah, last year for that. And yeah, July kind of just went through, had a good summer. Then August happened, and August, oh boy. Yeah, so first couple days went fine, then I started to realize that school was starting soon, but here's the thing. It's time for college. Now, I actually intentionally skipped some things here, because in April, I had to go to my college. It was like not an orientation, it was like this weird thing of like, oh, you have to sign up for orientation, but they have to like talk to you about stuff. They're really just trying to sell you on the dorms, and I'm like, why am I here? I'm not dorming here. This is like really close to my house, so... Yeah, so I did that, and I just signed up for orientation. I'm like, okay, this is college. This is the place I was planning to go since I was a kid. And then June, you had to go to orientation. It was like a whole day thing. I stayed up all night. Didn't get to go to bed until after 5 p.m. Horrible, horrible time. I was very tired the entire time. It was like 8 hours long. I hated every second of that. And then they're like, okay, okay, if you want to leave, you can. But we're gonna have a whole tour of the school. Mom was there. She's like, hey, do you want to do that? I'm like, no, I want to go to sleep. So then we left, and I have to sleep. But then, cycling back to August, it finally set in. Oh, I'm actually starting college. It's something I actually have to do now. Huh. I'm not looking forward to this. I really should have thought about this. Maybe I could have done online college. Or maybe I still can. That's where I'll leave it off for now. I will continue Blaze's flashbacks probably next month. Maybe this month if we're lucky, but we'll see. I don't know about that. If not next month, for sure, for 8 and 9. 8 will go over the whole college debacle. Kind of just this really weird time, pandemic era. Probably through like August of 21. And then after that, we'll get to episode 9, which will be August of 21 through September 23. We'll have... it was an interesting time, but yeah, the ending of that episode will be not fun at all. Not looking forward to talking about that, but... And then there will be a pretty big gap between episode 9 and 10. Episode 10 will probably be like later in 2025, because I gotta still... Because we're trying to catch up to, modern day, so... that'll be later in the year. We'll cover another, 2-ish year span. So, yeah, anyway, that's all for this one. Don't know when the next one will be uploaded again. Maybe this month if we're lucky, if not next month. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.